Hello.
Hello, Josh, and welcome to the chat.
Hi, Craig.
Yeah, thanks for having a chat with us.
No worries.
Josh, it's my understanding that you're originally born in Wales. Is that right?
No, born in Newport, Shropshire.
Oh, right.
The one in England, not in Wales. Everyone thinks I've come from Wales, but I'm not. No.
But I think your bio online, like in the It's Rugby sort of database, it says Welsh Rugby League player. Is that wrong then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is wrong. I have got Welsh, like great grandparents, but I was born in Stafford.
Okay, well, we got the first bit wrong, but hopefully we'll get the rest right. Obviously, Rugby League Outsiders, we're concerned with giving rugby league players and rugby league a voice, within the Midlands. And when you had an absolute stormer on last Sunday, scoring your 4 tries, it was like, right, we've got to get a chat with you. So before we kind of move into your background and all that kind of stuff, just talk me through those. Scoring the 4 tries. I mean, did it feel like a different kind of game, or what kind of led up to having such an absolute storm over a game?
I don't really know. It was my first. We targeted because I got injured round 1 playing against my old team, London Broncos.
Yeah,
and we targeted that one as a return fixture.
Right.
So we're working really hard with the S&C staff, with the physios, to get me into probably aiming to come back better than before I got injured. And I think through all that hard work, it just felt like it all came off during the game. Anything that I tried to do, I just think I had the belief and the confidence that I was able to do it and perform it.
Yeah. So, I mean, what was the injury? What kind of injury did you have?
I took a knock to the knee, which originally wasn't looking like it. It was looking quite a long layoff, but thankfully scans came back and showed that I was okay and that it wasn't as serious as we first thought. So I was able to sort of progress my rehab from that stage onwards.
Oh, well, I mean, and thankfully you nailed your target, and what an absolute result that you got. So if we can just have a little chat about your kind of background, kind of growing up in Newport, and I know from our chat offline that you was at the Midlands Hurricanes sort of development team. That was the academy there at Loughborough. And, often you'd come home and kind of play rugby league in Telford. But when you was growing up, I mean, was rugby league even on your radar? Was it something that you even thought about or knew about?
Probably not. To begin, I was massively, I lived 30 seconds from Newport Rugby Club, so I got taken over there from when I was 6. And I'd do that through the winter. And in the summer, I'd go and play cricket instead.
Oh, really?
So I was quite a keen cricketer.
Yeah.
And then when Martin Foskett came along to Newport with his 2 lads, Ben and Sam, who were massive rugby league family.
Yeah.
They said, "Oh, why don't you come along and try playing rugby league in the summer for a bit, to keep your fitness up?" So I thought, I'll go along. I did a few training sessions. I thought, I quite like this. This game actually suits me. I quite like a faster paced game.
Yeah.
For me, Union was a bit slow, and I struggled to get into the game sometimes. But rugby league almost sort of changed me as a player. So the rugby union player was a scrum half, but when I went to league, I started playing stand off, which almost then probably was the best move that I've ever made, is actually going to play rugby league and changing position.
Yeah.
Because from there, I managed to develop more skills to my game almost. So I have a lot to thank to Martin for bringing me along to Telford and getting me into it, because otherwise I don't know what I'd be doing now.
Yeah, exactly. It seems like it kind of set you up for up to this point right now. So what was kind of like your friends and other people that you were playing union with and all that kind of stuff? Like, what were their thoughts that you were starting to play rugby league?
It was quite good, actually. So I think from the age group that I was playing in, there was a solid 6 or 7 of us that actually that summer went along to play rugby league.
Yeah. And
quite from my friends, 4 of them got picked up to train with the St. Helens Development Centre.
Yeah.
The centre before they get to pick the team for scholarship. So it shows like the level of players that we have, and actually what moving to rugby league done for a lot of us. What done for a lot of us.
Yeah.
So I think we were all a bit hesitant to begin with, but we actually then bought into it, and then probably never looked back since.
Yeah, well, I know you had a bit of it says on your bio that we can't completely trust now that you was at Wasps for a while, for a short.
I never got picked up by a rugby union academy. So I was actually very close passing in playing rugby in general when I was younger, because the amount of trials that I'd go to play, even for county rugby union, I'd go and get turned away. And it got to a point where I was getting fed up with it, and I just wasn't enjoying it anymore.
Yeah.
But I went along to the Midlands Hurricanes development centre trial for the scholarship, and I got picked up to go into that, and then that required going to Loughborough 2 times a week. I'm pretty sure, when I was in year 10 and year 11, and it almost made me fall back in love with playing rugby again. But alongside playing rugby league at Telford, I started to enjoying it more. And I think I took a lot of pressure off myself and stopped taking it so seriously, and just go out there, enjoy it, and relax.
When you kind of when you changed position, would you have stood a chance as like a scrum half in Union? Was that, would you have been able to play scrum half at Union, or was it like an almost, a massive change for you to change position?
I think it was quite a big change, because that's all I'd known.
Yeah.
Growing up from like the age of 6, going like up to about, I think it was when I was maybe 12, 13 when I started playing league.
Yeah.
So it's all I knew, and then to almost try and learn a different side of my game was quite hard to begin with, but it almost sort of looking back now, it almost suited me as a player to play in that position.
Yeah. And it's incredible.
And
Sorry, go on.
It's also probably playing scrum half to then play pivot to now playing as a centre is almost giving me the tools to have like a wide range of skills available to me while I'm playing now.
Yeah, and does it help you, like when your pivots are like targeting like the flanks and all that kind of stuff? Does it give you a bit of an understanding of like what's happening, and you can spot movement early and kind of read players better? Yeah,
it's definitely helped me on my defensive side of the game, as I'm able to sort of almost spot different patterns of how people are running to predict what shape they're going to run at us.
Yeah.
So I'm able to position myself a lot better off the back of that, but also I also find I'm able to pick up weaknesses when I'm attacking as well. So like looking at how people are defending and working out what plays that trying to help my halfback, saying, if we're running a normal block shape, say, and the centre's trying to kill the fullback, just saying, I'm here for a tunnel pass.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Able to pick up little things while I'm playing.
I mean, I'm loving listening to what you're saying. It's just a huge insight into, the game at a very high standard. What kind of surprise? I mean, I've played rugby league all over the country, really, from Halifax originally, so not far from kind of where you're playing now. And I'm often shocked at the talent that comes through the Midlands. Like yourself, you've gone on and played for Batley. Who knows where what you'll get up to next? Or what would you say to a young lad, young girl, even like a young PDRL player or whatever, in regards to like giving rugby league a go? Because you're proof that there is a pathway there if you can kind of get along there and what have you, and you can make a bit of a go of it. What would you say to someone who's pretty keen?
I'd say definitely give it a go, because even if your heart is in a different sport, you never know what might come off the back of it.
Yeah,
the skills that you'll learn from playing rugby league are so transferable in so many different sports that I think people don't understand that.
Yeah.
They almost look at rugby league and go, they almost look at rugby as a whole and look, you got rugby union, you got rugby league, and they can't transfer.
Yeah.
But I think you look at rugby union now, a lot of teams are taking rugby league players to be coaches or trying to buy rugby league players across. Because I think they're actually starting to learn. There's so much to learn from the rugby league game.
Yeah, and I think you can see that. You can see that everywhere, can't you? So do you think there's like a bit of a like stigma in regards to rugby union players or rugby union fans and rugby league?
I think it's like slowly knocking down the stigma, but I think there's definitely still a stigma there. Where obviously you look at rugby union players and rugby union fans, you get thousands to games.
Yeah.
And rugby league is actually on the up. And I think that's because rugby union fans are starting to enjoy watching rugby league more.
Yeah.
And realising that it's a quicker but more simplified game.
So Josh, just kind of moving on, sort of, switching track a little bit. Obviously, you played down in London. I remember, did you play in Jersey, or did you over in Jersey at all?
No.
You need to check out this bio, because I don't know what they say.
I need to have a look and try and find it at some point.
Yeah.
I got picked up to go play at the Broncos Academy from the Midlands Hurricanes setup.
Right.
Because they've taken a few lads across the years, like Jacob Jones, Sam Davis, Matt Davis, who's currently at Lee now.
Oh, really? Yeah.
There's quite a few lads that got picked up to go down there. Jacob Ogden, one, who's played for Jamaica at the World Cup recently.
Yeah.
There's quite a few lads that got picked up from this Midlands Hurricanes Academy to go and play down at London. And there was a trial. They offered me a trial, a 4-week trial. Thankfully, they signed me after 2 weeks of being there.
Oh, really?
So,
yeah.
And I think after that, I just never looked back. That's when I made the transition from like a standoff fullback to a centre almost.
Yeah. So did you move down to London then? And do you live in Batley now? Are you kind of moving around with the game?
Yeah. So I travelled from Loughborough for 2 years.
Yeah.
Down to London 3 times a week, and then playing on the weekends as well.
Yeah.
And then in my last year of academy, when I decided to go, they tried to encourage extra courses. So I decided to go to St Mary's University and do a university degree alongside being a full-time rugby player.
Yeah.
So when I was there, I studied sports science. So at that age, I moved down and lived in Twickenham for 3 years.
Right.
But yeah, and then from there, obviously, after them 3 years, I've moved up to Leeds now and live in Leeds.
Yeah, you liking it there?
Taken me.
There's a bit more to do in Leeds than Telford, isn't there?
There certainly is a lot more to do in Leeds than Telford. I can't complain. I am quite happy living up there at the minute. I think it's been made a lot easier by the club. The board of directors here are great. All the fans are awesome, so I can't complain at all.
Yeah,
made me feel very welcome moving up here.
Well, it's incredible what you're doing. So who have you got coming up? Have you got any games of note that's coming up, or games that you're looking forward to?
We're playing Barrow on Monday night on Viaplay.
Right.
So that's a pretty big game for us to hopefully kickstart our season off the back of the Challenge Cup victory. So looking forward to that one. Hopefully putting out another good performance. Well,
I've been catching some of the games on the Viaplay, and it's actually really good coverage, isn't it? And I watched the Bradford game last week, and I was just like, Jesus, it's quick. You know what I mean? There's some big hits in there, and there was a little bit of there's a few old school niggles in the game as well, which when you watch Super League, obviously quite often with the TV there they can't get away with it, but there was a few niggles in there, and I don't know if that's what just the level of the game there in the Championship or not, but it was brilliant watching, really really good watching.
Yeah, the Championship is a physical game from the 3 years that I've played in the Championship. It's a physical game.
Yeah.
Sometimes can be slowed right down depending on the team you're playing against.
Yeah.
They've got some big bodies in the middle who probably are completely opposite to what you find in the Super League prop, but it's incredible the difference. They've still got exactly the same skill and standard. They're just a bigger body.
Yeah.
More physical. Probably won't do as long minutes, but when they come on, they do have that impact.
No, great. I mean, it's been brilliant talking to you. Is there anything that you want to kind of mention whilst you're on here?
I don't think so. I think I'm just the only thing I'm doing at the minute is just as I'm gone into the coaching side of things. I'm a community coach in Batley.
All right. Yeah.
Trying to grow the sport that way. Trying to get more Asian young people into the game and try and break that stigma on that side of the game.
So you're coaching one of the local teams there, are you?
Coaching in quite a few local schools.
Right, okay.
That are predominantly Asian schools.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's you can see they're actually intrigued in the game and really enjoy it. So
yeah, there's a guy.
That'd be good.
There's a guy I used to play with years ago. I'm talking like, I don't know, 30 odd years ago. And he's something to do with like the British Asian Rugby League Association, or him and Ikram Button. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got a game. They've got a game coming up on the 4th of June at Batley Stadium against the Colostomy team. So
yeah, amazing.
Trying to grow it on all sides, really.
So the coaching, are you just kind of exploring that kind of thinking, like one eye after you've finished playing, or is it just like an itch that you're scratching at the minute, or are you passionate about it?
I think it's something I'm definitely looking into for after rugby. Trying to grow keep my options open as much as possible. Obviously, got the going down my degree side of things, trying to coach in. So yeah, I'm just trying to keep my options open for when I'm finished and see what really does take my fancy. But I am thoroughly enjoying being a coach at the minute.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, well, Josh, I'll definitely be watching the game. Again, thanks for joining us and chatting to us. Really, really insightful listening to you, how you're kind of reading the games and the kind of detail of what's going on the pitch. That was really, really enjoyable to hear. So thanks again, and good luck for the next game and for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers, mate.